Afua, many thanks for doing this with us. What's the main aim of the coalition of the willing meeting in Paris today?
Well, you've got 31 leaders that have been meeting in Paris today. They are led by Sir Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the UK, and Emmanuel Macron, the leader in France there. And they're significant because you don't really get this amount of political and diplomatic leaders in one place for one reason. It's not just, the EU or NATO. You've got EU, NATO, Turkish, Ukrainian, Canadian presence all there together. It's about a wider community and this coalition of the willing that they are calling it. There's a lack of US presence, but that is significant. And today's talks focused on three things. The first thing, relations with the US on Ukraine. Secondly, military assistance for Ukraine. And what happens if there is a ceasefire.
And what's the latest lines from the meeting?
Well, Volodymyr Zelensky is speaking now, as we can see. We just had a media briefing by Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer. And the main lines that they're telling us is that Emmanuel Macron wants to, along with Keir Starmer, wants to have this reassurance force. Now, a notably different term from peacekeeping force. That's what we're used to hearing. The idea was a British and French one at the request of Ukraine. It's still in its planning phase, but the force would not be a substitute for peacekeeping forces. So it will be an additional force that would maintain any ceasefire. He said that several states will contribute to this force and will not be on the contact line, instead deployed to strategic areas. Sir Keir Starmer, Volodymyr Zelensky, and outgoing German Chancellor Olaf Scholz also saying that now is not the time to lift sanctions against Russia, saying that actually it's quite the opposite. Keir Starmer saying that it was with absolute clarity that Russia is trying to delay and playing games, and we have to be absolutely clear about that. And also the discussions around this supposed ceasefire that's supposed to be in play right now over the Dead Sea area and over the energy infrastructure also, that was discussed. But it's all about today this formation of that force, that reassurance force that will be in addition to peacekeepers, but won't be made up of all the countries of the coalition of the willing.
And what's the latest from the front line in the Ukraine? Russia and Ukraine agreed a peace deal over targeting the Black Sea and infrastructure. Is that being respected?
No, absolutely not being respected at all. So you had dozens of drones launched overnight by Russia. So Ukraine's Air Force saying that Russia launched 86 drones and Iskander-M ballistic missiles as well. Ukraine saying it managed to shoot down 42 of them. 26 did not reach their targets. But initial reports suggest that 21 people have been injured. So like I said, any ceasefire, tentative over energy infrastructure over the Black Sea area that has been declared is not being adhered to.
Well, Afua, I must say thank you for giving us insights here. We'll continue to follow the story as always. Thank you for coming on. Afua Hagan, our international correspondent, joining us live, a bit of insight for the Ukraine-Russia peace deal.